Hello everyone, you have come to Tata Comic Preview channel. Let read together. Have fun. Naturally, Zhou was just venting. He felt like he was truly old in the way he did things. Perhaps, he had transmigrated here for far too long. In this vicious and variegated world, one could lose their life if they were even slightly careless. Sometimes, he had even forgotten his original appearance. His initial urge to become young again when he transmigrated here was ebbing away. If he did not attempt the 9-leaf stage, he would have regained the appearance of a young man. Unfortunately, there was no rushing some matters. He would have to slowly accumulate the reversal cards. Meanwhile, Wizard hovered in the air obediently, not moving unnecessarily. It seemed to be showing its obedience and loyalty. Zhou glanced in the direction in which Zhenghai left. Then, he leaped onto Wizard and returned to Cloud Mountain. With the violet glazed ceramic in his possession, Zhou found his travels exceptionally easy. On top of that, he had a profound cultivation base. After Zhou returned to his room, he looked at his remaining merit points. Merit points, 178,040. After that, he looked at the item cards column. Mentor and Eternal Paragon were placed at the most eye-catching positions. The two cards cost 60,000 merit points in total. They were expensive. Should I buy them? Zhou gauged his cultivation base. He was at the more advanced phase of the mid-9-leaf stage. He would have to cultivate diligently to break through. 1,000 Realms Whirling cost 500,000 merit points. After pondering on the matter, Zhou decided to purchase the cards. Ding. Spent 60,000 merit points. Obtained Mentor and Eternal Paragon. Will you use them? Parents worry about their children, and here I am, worrying about my disciples. Use. The two cards faded away at seemingly the same time. After using the card, Zhou did not feel any clear changes. He even stood up and moved around. There were no changes at all, he did not feel any different from before. After a moment, he decided to try his luck. Lucky draw. Ding. Spent 50 merit points and 110 luck points. Obtained, Reversal Card X1. He had just spent 60,000 merit points, and yet, the 110 luck points merely gave him a reversal card? Stay calm. He looked at his remaining merit points. 117,990 merit points. Lucky draw. Ding. Spent 50 merit points. Obtained Mount, Dang Kang. Dang Kong is rare. It's still in its adolescence, so it'll only hurry to the Evil Sky Pavilion in the near future. Zhou nodded in satisfaction. Finally, something good. However, he could not help but wonder why the system was giving so many mounts. For a cultivator, 1 mount was enough, and yet, he had 4 mounts now. With the addition of Dang Kong, he now had 5 mounts. Am I supposed to open a zoo? Zhou remembered Cheong-Chi. Among his current mounts, Cheong-Chi had the greatest combat power, but it was still young. It had great chemistry with Ming-Shirin, they seemed to be a natural pair. In the end, he decided if he had no other uses for the mounts, it was not a bad idea to give them to his disciples as well. Meanwhile, in a faraway and unknown mountain range, a green boar-like beast that was 6 feet in length and 4 feet in height with 2 big ears and 4 long fangs seemed as though it had been summoned as it left its pack and flew toward the horizon. After obtaining the mount, Dang Kong, Zhou gained 100 luck points again without obtaining anything else. He stopped trying and entered his meditation state. After obtaining Dang Kong, he did not feel much pain over losing 500 merit points. Perhaps, the violet glazed ceramic was working to keep his nerves calm as well. As he breathed, his primal chi was clearly flowing much more quickly. After being healed by Zhou, Ji Liang was reinvigorated. It kept galloping toward the dark forest. At this moment, Yu Shangrong was slowly walking in the forest. When he was young, he had crossed endless forests and braved winding mountain roads and rivers with his mortal body. He had also survived countless tribulations. He had enough experience to know how to deal with the beasts of the forests. However, times were different. The environment here was much more complicated as well. Yu Shangrong slowed down to lower his chances of running into a beast. A beast? Yu Shangrong saw a faintly shining light in the clearing before himself. However, his experience and instinct told him it was not a beast, but some sort of treasure. This was a usual occurrence in the human cultivation world. Some cultivators would try to capture beasts but would be devoured instead, leaving their treasures behind. Then, those who were lucky enough would chance upon the treasures. It seems like I'm in luck. Yu Shangrong made his way over. Huge boulders stood in his way in no apparent order. The area ahead of him seemed like a huge rock forest. He was not reckless. He picked up a pebble and tossed it toward the boulders. When he saw that nothing happened, he advanced carefully, skirting around the boulders to get to the clearing. Veins. Usually, formation veins would have to be activated by someone for them to glow. Clearly, someone was here. Yu Shangrong's sensitivity toward danger was greater than the others. He immediately noticed that something was amiss. He pushed away from the ground and shot into the air with what little primal chi he had left to try and leave the rock forest. He was about to escape when the rocks in the forest suddenly gathered and formed a net. Yu Shangrong scowled as he descended. I can't leave. He tried to walk away. Whenever he was about to leave the periphery of the rock forest, the rocks would gather and block his way. I can get in, but I can't get out? Forget it. I'll just cultivate here. I'll be able to leave once I'm healed. Yu Shangrong leaned against one of the boulders and closed his eyes as he adjusted his breath. At this moment, a guttural laugh rang from outside the forest. This is karma. I didn't think this day would come so soon. The voice belonged to none other than Jiang Shaosheng, Yi Zhen's disciple. Yu Shangrong had been trying to track Jiang Shaosheng earlier. Yu Shangrong opened his eyes and looked at the shadow veiled in the darkness as he calmly said, Are you thinking about killing me? You killed my master, it's only right that I kill you. Did you set this formation up? Yu Shangrong asked. I'm not that skilled, but I can tell you this formation is left behind by the predecessors. They can be found in many forests and have been around for millennia. There are 361 rock pillars in every area that form a heavenly net that only allows entry but not exit. The bones you see around you are the best proof of this. You're out of luck, Jiang Shaosheng said smugly. You think this formation can keep me here? Yu Shangrong asked nonchalantly. Jiang Shaosheng chuckled. My master was even more confident compared to you. However, out of his 9 lives, he lost 5 to this formation. He had to devour other cultivators to regain his 6th life, Jiang Shaosheng said. Yu Shangrong slowly rose to his feet. With his remaining primal chi, he shot toward the periphery of the rock forest. Dozens of energy swords formed above his head. Jiang Shaosheng staggered backward in fright. Then, he quickly retreated to the far back. At the same time, the net formed by the rocks stopped Yu Shangrong, separating him from Jiang Shaosheng. Do you think your master can compare to me? Yu Shangrong shook his head and said evenly, You have no need to be afraid. I've used up all my primal chi. I'll give you a chance to avenge your master. Do you dare to come in? It was easy for a confident person to become conceited. However, when used correctly, it could be a terrifying weapon as well. Jiang Shaosheng gulped and retreated further. He said indignantly, Don't even think of scaring me. You can't even protect yourself right now. You'll join the pile of bones soon enough. One day, I'll become an expert that surpasses you. One day. Yu Shangrong smiled faintly as he looked at Jiang Shaosheng in slight derision. Then, he returned to the rock pillar and sat down to adjust his breathing. He did not plan to escape this place now. His priority was to recover his cultivation base. Jiang Shaosheng said, We'll see. Nay. At this moment, above the dark forest, Ji Liang dove with its shining hooves. Nay. Jiang Shaosheng started. A beast? He turned around and fled immediately. Deep within the rock forest, Yu Shangrong called out, "Ji Liang? Nay. Don't come in." Yu Shangrong hovered in the air at half the height of the rock pillar. When he saw Ji Liang flying toward him, he flashed a surprised smile. "I told you, we're fated." Nay. Nay. Yu Shangrong could not keep himself afloat for long. He had no choice but to descend. "Did Master send you?" Ji Liang nodded. Yu Shangrong said with a sigh, "You should return for now. This is a great place. I'm going to cultivate my sword path here." Nay. Return. To Yu Shangrong, asking for help from others was an extremely difficult task. He would rather Ji Liang return to his master. Ji Liang neighed twice before it flew toward the rock forest. Yu Shangrong frowned. "You're not going back?" Ji Liang neighed and dove. After it entered the rock forest, the rocks gathered again, and what looked like a translucent spider web flashed briefly before disappearing. Ji Liang trotted to Yu Shangrong's side. Yu Shangrong was not angered, he did not even reprimand the beast. Instead, something stirred in him. He smiled and tossed his longevity sword on the ground. He patted Ji Liang's mane. "All right. When I regain my cultivation base back, I'll bring you out of this rock forest." The sun rose in the east. The sunlight pushed the morning mist away and shone down on Cloud Mountain, making it look like paradise. After an entire night's worth of cultivation, Zhou felt that his primal chi had been replenished. After the violet glazed ceramic was improved to the desolate grade, his cultivation base had been raised threefold. It was no wonder Yizhen's cultivation base was on par with a 10-leaf cultivator despite his young age. If he was not hell-bent on restoring his lives, he would have become a 10-leaf cultivator long ago. At this moment, a voice rang from the other side of the door. "Senior Liu, Sect Master Nya invites you to the hall for a conversation." "All right." Zhou slowly rose to his feet before he stretched his limbs. At the same time, he checked his system dashboard. Where did Ji Liang go? Which disciple of mine earned that 9-leaf reward? Zhou did not dwell on this matter and made his way to the main hall. When Nia Qingyun, Sikong Beichen, and the others saw Zhou, they stood up to welcome him. "Brother Liu." "Senior Liu." Zhou waved his arm and said, "There's no need for formalities." Then, he swept his eyes across his disciples. Yu Zhenghai, Little Yuan, and Kong stood at the side. He frowned and asked, "Where's your second senior brother?" Little Yuan shook her head. "Second senior brother has always been mysterious. Nobody knows where he's at." Yu Zhenghai said, "Second junior brother prefers to be on his own. There's no need to worry about him, Master. Even if Cloud Mountain were to collapse, he wouldn't be crushed by the weight." Zhou nodded slightly. Nia Qingyun felt slightly awkward when he heard this exchange. Meanwhile, Sikong Beichen laughed loudly before he said, "Indeed, your capable disciple is one of a kind, Brother Liu. His sword path is already at the peak. I'm sure he'll master the Son of Heaven's sword within these few years. All he needs is just a bit of luck. Within 10 years, he'll surely reach the 10-leaf stage." Nia Qingyun was shocked upon hearing these words. He said, "If you praise him this much, he must be an amazing character." Sikong Beichun regarded Nia Qingyun with a bored expression, clearly displaying his lack of interest in entertaining Nia Qingyun, as he said, "This is Brother Liu's first disciple. In terms of saber techniques, he's on par with you, Nia Qingyun." "Oh." Nia Qingyun shifted his eyes to Yu Zhenghai. An expression of envy appeared on his face when he saw the desolate grade jasper saber. His weapon was only a heaven-grade weapon. Yu Zhenghai said, "Sect Master Nya, shall we have a sparring session someday?" "I wish no more than to meet my own match," Nia Qingyun said. Sikong Beichen was rendered speechless for a moment by Nia Qingyun. Then, he said, "The great 10-leaf cultivator of Cloud Mountain is stooping so low as to spar with a 9-leaf cultivator." Nia Qingyun. Nia Qingyun was about to retort when Zhou said, "Enough. After he sat down, he said, "Let's get down to business." Nie Qingyu nodded and said, "The Sky Martial Court has been made aware that their men are being held captive on Cloud Mountain. They will send an emissary today to demand the release of their men." Demand? Lu Zhou cocked an eyebrow. It wasn't stated clearly in the flying letter. "I think the people from the Sky Martial Court will be here soon." Speak of the devil. A Cloud Sect disciple hurried into the hall at this moment. He bowed and said, "Sect Master, the people from Sky Martial Court are here." The others nodded. This was within their expectations, so they were not surprised. "Let them in." Understood. In the sky above Cloud Mountain, a flying chariot was slowly approaching. This was the Sky Martial Court's flying chariot. The Sky Martial Court had obtained Cloud Mountain's permission to enter and was being escorted by the cultivators. They passed through the barriers and landed beside the incense furnace before the main peak's hall. More than 10 cultivators from the Sky Martial Court walked into the hall with boxes in their hands. When they entered, Nie Qingyun and Sikong Beichen recognized one of them at once. Mo Bayan? The person leading the group was one of Sky Martial Court's elders, Mo Bayan. He was also Yu Qinshu's most trusted subordinate. Mo Bayan waved his hand. The cultivators placed the boxes on the floor. "Sect Master Nya, we meet again. Temple Master Sikong, you're here as well." Mo Bayan greeted them in order. Nie Qingyun and Sikong Beichen were slightly ill at ease. After a beat, Nie Qingyun said with a frown, "Elder Mo, aren't you going to greet Senior Lu?" Mo Bayan looked up and finally discovered Lu Zhou and his unusual presence. He hastily bowed and said, "I assume you're the Senior Lu who defeated Yizhen." Lu Zhou looked at Mo Bayan expressionlessly and said, "Get down to business." Mo Bayan felt awkward. "Everyone's busy. Who's willing to waste their time with you here?" Mo Bayan said, "I have only one request for this visit. I hope that Sect Master Nya will release all the disciples of the Sky Martial Court. These boxes contain some tokens of appreciation from the Sky Martial Court." After Mo Bayan finished speaking, he waved his hand again. The cultivators behind him opened the boxes. There were 3 boxes of extremely high-quality talismans, 1 box of gold, 1 box of medicinal pills, 1 box of secret tomes, and 4 boxes of heaven and earth treasures. Even for a major sect, these items were considered extremely luxurious. Nie Qingyun shook his head and said, "Mo Bayan, your people colluded with the Flying Star House with the intention of annihilating my Cloud Mountain. Do you think I'll let this matter go? You're kidding yourself if you think you can resolve this conflict with 10 boxes of gifts." Mo Bayan said, "Apart from these boxes, the courtmaster will personally request for a pardon on Cloud Mountain's behalf." "A pardon?" The Flying Star House is in ruins. Ever since Yizhen and Chen died, the 5 Finger Peaks had fallen. Thousands of disciples fled overnight. However, that's a separate matter from the deaths of the Sky Martial Court's chief instructor and the Royal Guard's deputy commander, Lu Zhan. You can hardly explain this matter away. The courtmaster will take care of these matters for you. It'll be as though nothing happened on Cloud Mountain. However, Mo Bayan paused for a moment before he continued to say, "I'd like to confirm that the Sky Martial Court disciples are unharmed. Are you here to negotiate or to make demands?" Sikong Beichen frowned as his voice deepened. "I don't know about Senior Lu, but even I wouldn't agree to your terms. Mo Bayan, do you think I'm a pushover? Please don't misunderstand, Temple Master Sikong. The court master does not wish to aggravate the conflict. Everything can be discussed," Mo Bayan said. "There's no need for a discussion," Zhenghai said with a stern expression. "Go back and tell your court master that you have no right to speak to my master. If I'm in a bad mood, I might kill all your disciples." Mo Bayan was taken aback. He turned to look at Zhenghai and said, "Why do you have to put me in such a difficult spot, sir?" Zhenghai shook his head and said, "You're the one who's putting us in a difficult position. Please consider this carefully, everyone. After all, the Sky Martial Court isn't the Flying Star House or Cloud Mountain," Mo Bayan said. At this moment, Zhou said in a deceptively soft voice, "What's your name?" Mo Bian felt chills run up his spine when he heard Zhou's question. He replied, "A true man never changes his name. I'm Mo Bian." Zhenghai frowned slightly. Is he taking a dig at Master for using an alias? Zhou's expression remained neutral as he said, "Listen carefully, Mo Bian." Gladly, Mo Bian replied. "We'll kill 20 of your disciples today as a warning. Tell your court master that if he's sincere, he should come here and speak to me," Zhou said. Mo Bian shuddered. He looked at this old man with slight incredulity. The old man was going to kill without reason and did not seem to take the Sky Martial Court seriously. These 20 disciples were meant to pay for the lives lost during the Red Lotus Domain's invasion of the Golden Lotus Domain the other day. Mo Bian hastily bowed and said, "Senior Liu, please calm down. We can talk things through."